I think you take about 4 plays out, and there was a lot of good things. Obviously we had 3 turnovers. 2 of them were on 4th down, and then we missed the touchdown throw to Chandler there on that 3rd down, kind of tied in delay play. And so those are plays that obviously we'd like to have back because they all were in the red zone. And really in the second half, we moved the ball well in between the 25s, but obviously we didn't score many points and it cost us.
The red zone's been kind of an issue really for the last year.
You say that. I think we were pretty high ranked last year in red zone offense. Yeah, no question. Yeah, it cost us some games without question last year.
Is there anything that you see that you can do to?
Yeah, finish the drives. Finish the drives. Because it's either a turnover, which for a long history we've been pretty good not turning the ball over in the red zone, and like we did the other night, that seems to be happening a little more. So we got to be better with the ball, and we got to find ways to run it in and make plays in the passing game in tight windows, and we're not doing that. And
just talk Sean's play overall, Gus. Like he's the #1 guy.
Absolutely.
What did you see out of him in particular?
In the second half, I think he was able to get in there and get in a little bit of a rhythm, and I saw what Sean does. He competed. Again, you take away his one throw to Chandler. That was one thing I thought overall with all the guys, the accuracy was better. I mean, when we threw the ball, there wasn't a lot of inaccurate throws. We missed the one tight end throw. Other than that, I thought he played well. His one interception was 4th and goal. You got to throw it, and you got to try to force it in a tight window, and they had pretty good coverage on the play. So he fought hard. He competed to the end.
Did you get away from what you normally would like to see happen and do in a game in terms of the first half? And is that kind of the message that Gus has kind of been sending all week?
Well, yeah, the first half was unacceptable for what we do here at Auburn. And, you have 5 drives and 4 of them are 3 and out. That's not acceptable. And so the second half, again, we had 7 drives and 6 of them went into their territory because we were moving the ball, getting a little more tempo going. And, obviously 3 of them, though, we shot ourselves in the foot when we got down there close and had a chance to score some points. And we got some good field position on a couple of those drives, too, because of our defense.
Rhett, as the season goes on, what are 2 or 3 things you'd like to see improve from Sean White? What are you sort of working from the most?
It's kind of early to say. He played 38 plays. I think he had 2 plays that he would not have graded positively on. And so he did a lot of good things. I think the more he is able to play with the guys that are on the field and they get more, on the same page and a better rhythm together, he'll get better and better. The one thing for Sean that he's got to be good at for us to be a good offense is we've got to hit our deep ball throws. And, one the other night we hit Kyle. The reason the ball was underthrown is he had to kind of adjust in the pocket and got hit a little bit. So really it was a good job by him getting it there. And same thing on the one to Will Hastings. But when we got time to set our feet, we got to be very efficient with those deep balls.
Is that something a team that's really struggled against the pass the last couple of years? How important is it going to be for quarterbacks to get in rhythm and kind of take advantage of that this week?
If that's how – it depends on how they play us. But if that's what they're giving us, then we got to be able to execute. And it'd be great to go out and throw and catch the ball well. It'd be great to go out and run the ball well. The thing about Arkansas State's defense, they've got, I think, 7+ starters returning. They're very athletic for that league. Obviously, we know the league well, and 4 out of the last 5 championships in that league. And so they're pretty confident. They know what they do, and they've played some really good teams really close. They almost beat Missouri. I know it was at their place, but, they're a very sound defense. They're going to make you earn everything. They're not going to beat themselves on defense. So execution's at a premium.
Rhett, over some freshmen who didn't play last week, you might get to play this week.
Cam Martin potentially out. Yeah, he didn't get in the game, so he's a potential. There's still guys that are, depending on the situation, could play.
What did you see out of the freshman receivers their first time out there?
The way the game went, they didn't play. Kyle has been limited from, the physical and just the mental aspect of things. He's getting better. This week's been really good for him. We had a couple more plays for him he didn't get in on. Same thing with Nate Craig. He played just a couple plays. The way the game went, it was tight. I don't fault Cody for wanting to go with the guys that have been there. But we've got to get those guys in the rotation more because the only way they're going to get better is to play. And so I look for more guys to get more opportunities.
Another one that could also play.
Possibly.
Gus said that Cameron Fatway was going to have a bigger role this week. Is running back rotation, more running back rotation, something you're looking to
Yeah, there's no doubt. And the good thing is we found out KJ can carry a load. I thought he got better as the game went on, but he didn't have as many carries in the first half just because of the way the first half went for us. Typically, probably he'll have more carries by halftime. Therefore, Cameron Petway will get more opportunities, and he's going to have to, not only in a single game, but just for the course of the season. And we got a lot of confidence in Cameron, and I think when he gets those opportunities, he'll do well.
Brett, what did you make of the play of the offensive line?
When you look at the fact that you had a center really making his first ever start, a guy starting at left tackle for the first time, and then, lefts played a little bit of right tackle, I'd say it was okay. It was much better in the second half. We did take a couple sacks. We had 2 breakdowns. But in both cases, I think the quarterback could have gotten rid of the ball and saved us. So there's plenty of areas for everybody to improve, but they did some good things.
Over the years, you guys have mentioned how it takes a few weeks to find the identity of this offense and properly place things around the strengths of the quarterback. I'm sure this year is no different.
Yeah.
And sooner than later, you want to be able to do it. What on average has usually been that time frame you guys can do that?
When you got a lot of new guys, it wasn't the same in 2014 because Nick and all those guys were back. But when you have new guys like it was in 13 and, so far to some degree this year, usually games 3 or 4, but we don't have that time. I think we have a good idea now of what we have and what guys can do. And so we've been just really focusing on a lot of times you make a lot of improvements from game 1 to game 2. There's no question we need to do that.
I think Arkansas State has something like 6 or 7 players that you guys recruited that are now starters. What do you remember just from recruiting them and what you see on tape?
They do have some guys that I guess would be in their senior year that we recruited in that last class. And, defensively, there's a couple guys still out there. Chris Humes from Spain Park being a guy that I know when we first got there I recruited. And, he's a great kid, got a good family. There's some other guys out there, and there's people that we know like Blaze Taylor and those guys. On the offensive side, I'm a little more familiar with those. You got guys starting on the offensive line like Devin Mundy, Jamar Clark, Colton Jackson, Dejon Pascal. They're starting there for a reason. We felt like they were going to be good players, and it looks like they've had a pretty good career so far. So, unfortunately, we got to play them. So.
Brett, you mentioned the starters that their defense brings about. What is the D-line going to add that many guys that used to be in that?
Yeah, that's the way it goes when, a lot of times you are playing pretty good caliber players, and he was a 5-star and all that, whatever, and you add him to the mix on their D-line that was already pretty strong. And you can see why they're pretty good. I mean, you watch the game against Toledo. It got away from them a little bit there in the second quarter, but Toledo's not running up and down the field on them. They don't do much in the first quarter. They don't do a whole lot in the second half. It just kind of snowballed on them as a team. And then they were opportunistic now. They were punching the ball out. They hustle. They play really hard. There was a play that they were about to score, and it may have been Quinterio Heath, another kid we recruited, and chased him down and popped it out of the back of the end zone. So they play really hard. They play the game the right way.
You talked about getting into a rhythm with a quarterback. How important is that for you guys to help that along, throw the ball a little bit more early on down?
Yeah, it's critical because we were very poor on third down. I think the plan was good. We probably had 4 to 5 that you take the play to KJ that is a catch in my opinion. I guess I'm not real sure what a catch is anymore, but that's a third down. We have a third down and 19. We throw a pass completed for 18 yards. That's a not. I mean, so we did some things right, but the biggest problem with our third downs was we were in 3rd and long. We had 2 3rd and 2 or lesses. So 15 times we were in 3rd and 4 or more pretty much. And a lot of 3rd and 7, 8, 9, 10, 15s. You can't, it doesn't matter who you're playing and what you're doing. It's hard to convert those. And so we've got to be better on early downs to help our third down situation. We've got to, be able to throw and catch the ball and have better balance. But the second half, you saw parts of it. 48 plays, around 250 yards is a pretty good half against anybody, especially a top 5 team. But we just got to finish drives.
Considering that Landon didn't play, how did Jalen do?
Jalen did some good things, and he's going to be more involved.
How have you seen your guys, particularly younger guys who hadn't been put up before, maybe respond to the disappointment?
They've been fine. They're learning real quick that week to week in our league and in what we're doing, one play and 6 or 7 points can make a huge difference in how you feel for a week. And that's okay. If they weren't disappointed, didn't, feel really bad Sunday and Monday, then you probably have the wrong guys. So, but they've been good. They're just still learning kind of what all's going on, but they're following the lead of the older guys. And again, the chemistry of the team I still think is strong. And that's why I think this team's going to get better and going to be fine.
What would you like to see out of Jason Smith, maybe get him more involved in the offense? Is there something he needs to do better in practice?
Yeah, just we're going to play the guys that earn it in practice. And Jason's had a good week or so, but right now the guys that we're putting on the field are the guys that have kind of earned that spot.
Right, going back to the offensive line for a second, how did you think Xavier played? I mean, that's literally his first time
Yeah.
in that kind of moment.
You know,
He
he did fine. He had probably 2 really bad plays, but overall, considering who he was going against and all the stuff they were doing, a bunch of different looks and putting the guy right over him a lot, he held his own. And so that's a positive, and then you just hope that he can continue to take steps week after week.
Anything else for Coach Lashlee? All right, thanks, Rhett.
Thanks, guys.